Oh, this is.
Hey everybody.
Hey everybody. Are we big? Now we're big.
Now we're big.
I'm shiny though. I'm right under the light.
I know.
This is-
We got K Munin is here. Hey. And we got Austin. Hi Austin. How are you? And we got
Austin's here.
Danny from South Carolina. That's
Yes.
where I'm from. South Carolina. I hope
Yes.
you're not down in the Beaufort County area
Oh,
where
yeah,
the
that's right.
monkeys are loose.
Because they have not caught one yet.
If y'all heard about that. Actually, that's actually where I grew up, in that area.
Yeah.
Right there, like maybe a little less than 5 miles from that monkey farm. That's where I grew up. And that's where my family still lives. And we got Les. Hey, Les.
Lee.
Oh, Lee. Oh, okay. I can't see
Yeah,
good.
Raccoon is here.
Hey, Raccoon Eyes. And
But don't worry, because the laboratory promises they didn't really start experimenting on any of them yet. So
we got
fingers crossed.
We got Reynard.
Renard
Hey,
is there.
Reynard.
As
And
people are
we
starting
want
to
to
come
say
in.
I don't know if it's Happy Veterans Day, but we're acknowledging veterans today,
because
the day before Veterans Day.
And that's the weirdness of it, is because Happy Veterans Day, it's like, it's not really that kind of holiday.
Or Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day.
It's like you do understand that that's the day that you're supposed. I don't think most people know what those days are actually for.
But we're acknowledging
Yes.
veterans on today. For the sacrifice that they made to the country,
which she knows a lot about. She is a veteran,
so we are acknowledging that. As always, we hope you had a very uneventful week. Yeah. Our week had a lot of events.
Yes.
They weren't all bad though.
I'm a veteran of 1,000 psychic wars. Who knows where that's from? Somebody knows where that's from. Come on, tell us in the comments section.
Hey, Pastor Rick, how are you?
We are our house guest is gone.
Yeah. We had a lot of events. They weren't all bad. I don't think any bad events happened this week. It was just very filling.
Yeah.
And it was just a lot of things going on this week. But if you had a very eventful week, I hope it wasn't like bad events.
Yes.
I hope it was no events, and that you had a nice, easy week, boring as can be, nothing going on, and your mind was just free and clear. Those are the best weeks. Those are the best days.
They can be.
Hey, Gilgamesh. But
yeah, we had a very busy week. Our house guest is gone.
Yeah.
They left on without a hitch.
On Thursday.
As far as house guests go, they weren't so bad.
Yeah.
But it's still, having another personality in the house can be disruptive.
Yeah.
It can feel weird.
Yeah.
So, but that we got through that.
We got through that. And that went pretty well. So we're good there. We're good to go there. So that happened.
Yes.
And now we're moving on to better, bigger and better things. Mm-hmm. Today we went to
see my that's the wrong hand. See? I got my mark.
Today we went to the record show in Marietta, Georgia. I think we told
who?
Heavy Metal.
That's right, the Heavy Metal soundtrack. Veteran of 1,000 psychic wars. There you go.
We
it's time we had some leave. It's time we had a break from it.
Thank you, Reynard. Thank you a bunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, we went to the record show today, so we picked up some stuff, and David will edit the video. We did do a video. It wasn't long, because it's every step of the way, every vendor almost got music playing, and then it's music playing on the overhead thing. So
you get in trouble with ScrewTube. They don't like you.
And today seemed like it was more packed today than in times past. I don't know if that's the case or it was the way they had it set up, because the aisleways were very close this time.
It seemed like
even the vendors said something about that.
And there's a lot of in-between space, and you really kind of want the opposite of that. I mean, I get where it can make it feel like the room's a little more filled up, but then you're disadvantaging a lot of your customers who are climbing over each other trying to get by.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
But all in all, it was fun. We had a lot of fun as always. We saw a lot of people, talked a bunch, saw a couple of my favorite vendors that I always buy stuff from. They're always good people to be around. So
there you go. And we got our hand stamped, and I hesitate to think that there might be some individuals who that stamp is going to be on there for quite a while, because I know those things that it takes a day or two to wash them off. But I'm wondering if there's people that like that stamp will still be there the next time they go, and then they can fake and get in for free.
I doubt that.
It's like my stamp is still there because they didn't wash it off. It's like, I'll never wash this hand again. I wasn't washing it anyways.
David is the only person on earth that thinks like that. So
there are people that are like that. Are you kidding me? They got stamps from like weeks back from all different things all over their hands, and you go to put another stamp, like they go to a nightclub or something. It's like, there's no space. Where do I turn your hand over? Let me put it on your wrist.
Oh yeah, came in and I saw that too. I actually went to Target this week. I don't even know why I went to Target, but I went to Target and I saw that, and it's on the card, and I was like, oh, okay, these are those figures. The card, I thought the card was okay. Now I didn't pick it up to feel it.
Stripped down figures.
Yeah, I didn't pick up the card to feel it, to see if it was flimsy. But I thought it was just, okay, they got it on a card. But yeah, they stripped down all the accessories. They're putting out the exact same figure with no accessories. And I don't know about that. I don't know why.
And flimsier packaging. And
I don't know why they're doing that.
Munion's making the point they saw the $35 Super 7s at Target, but they have a cheap-looking box.
Because, again, it's the same as the Ultimate figure that's $55 just without the accessories.
The box and accessories. And it's like, I don't know, trying to expand on their market. I think they're stretching themselves too thin. It's just, we've talked about it several times before. I'm kind of concerned actually for Super 7 and the direction that they're going in, that they're cranking stuff out now, and they're excuse me, they got too many lines going at once, and there also been a lot of issues with QC that have been coming up.
Because at the beginning, they had like a handful of IPs, and they were only putting it out every so often, like, every couple months.
Yeah.
Now they're putting out something almost every week.
And then, like, for example, the Conan the Barbarian comic book edition, there was something off with the sword or something. They delayed that sucker like 3 months just to fix it.
Yeah.
They took it really seriously. They delayed Chitara for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because they were like, oh, colors weren't right. We wanted to retool them. Now it doesn't seem to matter. One of the complaints I've seen just recently is their Crimson Guard Commander 2-pack, Tomax and Zaymot, with the reaction figures with them in the blue suits. That people have been opening the packaging and discovering their arms detached.
Oh wow!
But not like they came off, snapped on the joint. They cannot be fixed.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, wow, that is not all of them, obviously, but enough of them that it's getting around that people are like, what the hell is this? That's crazy. Bad QC.
Yes, that's very
Gilgamesh
bad.
says they saw them as well.
Yeah. But I don't know why they feel like they need to just crank this stuff out so fast.
You don't know why?
I mean, yeah.
They want to make that money.
How you doing there,
Jesse? Say what?
But there are other IPs out there that nobody's touching, like the Smurfs. I wish they would kind of go back to that, because you had the Smurf figures, but they were the little tiny figurines.
Irwin made action figures, but they're terrible. I don't know if you ever seen the Irwin. I have a couple of loose ones. I can show people what the Irwin action figures look like, because they are vintage. They're from like the 80s, but they're clunky looking little goofy things.
And they never made play sets like the houses. They had the houses.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did?
Oh yeah, P.O.
I don't
made
see
a
him
ton of
around.
that stuff. Yeah, it's because you can't find them now, but they made a ton of that stuff. Gilgamesh says their Walmart clearance out all the Ultimates at 20 a pop.
Wow. And that's another thing with the Super 7s, they
Yeah,
don't hold up. I mean, you wait.
most of it. Some
Is
surprise
a
you.
is rare that any of them
And
hold up.
to add to that, Justice Curry, a lot of you know who Justice
Mm-hmm.
Curry is. He had a ton of that stuff that he got from a lot that he bought out. He was selling mint on card the GI Joe reaction figures, $5 a pop.
Wow.
$5 because he figured he couldn't move them. He was like, it's not worth it. Just so
No.
if anyone wants them, $5 a pop, as many as you want. I can put a whole set of them together for you. And it's like, damn, Justice.
I got the only things reaction that I'm getting from Super 7 are the Sesame Street and the Richard Scarry. I really like those. And they didn't really make too much Richard Scarry anything.
Yes.
So I have that and I really wanted that. And I like the Sesame Street and what they did with those.
Yeah.
But I would like to see a full size, like 3 to 6 inch um Smurf with the houses, the little mushroom
Yeah.
houses, Gargamel. I mean, but at a decent price,
Yeah.
not them big jumbo ones that they make for $300.
Yeah, because
Not
Smurfs have
that.
been done a few times, but
Yeah, but not like, I guess it wouldn't make sense to make them 3 inches because they're small anyway. But I don't know, that and Gumby wasn't really done like all that. I really like Gumby. Sometimes you find him
he's been done a couple of
around,
times. Yeah,
but not a
always
lot.
a bendy,
Yeah, always
obviously.
a bendy, which makes sense. He was clay. And
Yeah.
there's another one
Oh
that I
no,
was talking
Irwin I
about.
think made those in the 90s actually. But
Mm-hmm.
there I got here. This is what the Irwin Smurf figure looks like. That's an Irwin, 5 points of articulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's about 3 inches tall.
Yeah,
And
see, and I mean, for a Smurf, that size is fine.
yeah, he's just got a really bizarre waist configuration there. It's
Yeah.
just like, what are you doing? With this square behind.
And not Gilgamesh, sorry. Kim Eunice says that they noticed at their Target the NECA figures
Really? They
are
got rid
being
of them?
done away with too. Those none of it is moving. At our Walmart, it's full of NECA figures.
Yeah.
Last 2 times I've been at Target, I've seen people going crazy over pops. Haven't
Really,
seen that in
Gilgamesh?
a while. Wow.
That's surprising.
It's hardly no pops at our Walmart. I
Munin
did go to
says
the Target and it was a few.
Munin says Super 7 reactions can't even sell for $5 in my area.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. And Stuart
Hey, T.
says
Stewart.
Super 7 doing the vintage horror comics also, like Cat and the Cherry Bomb covers. Yes, in reaction form.
Yeah.
They've been doing those as
I
well.
thought that
I don't know how those are selling, but
I thought the reaction figures would really take off with the way that the artwork looks on the
some of
card.
them, yeah.
But I guess not. I don't know. I think people are really getting out of the toys now because it's too much and the prices are out of the way. And then you have all of those QC issues. I mean, you're paying all
That
this
ain't
money and the
helping them.
stuff breaking on you. You can't find it. It comes out too often. So maybe people just starting to feel some kind of way about it and like, I'm not bothering with that. I'll just go on eBay and find the original and be done with it.
Yeah, and not
And
just Super 7, but all of these
yeah,
companies.
yeah.
There's so much that
Mm-hmm.
they're making way more now than they were making when we were kids. Way more than when
Yeah.
we were kids. And it doesn't stop, and it doesn't look like it's going to
Yeah.
stop. Legends and Black Series Star Wars and all that, it doesn't look like it's ever going to stop. And where's the end? Where can I put the brakes on? You can't.
Franken Frog says NECA figures don't move because they're too expensive, $40. And when we
And they
started,
never fixed their QC issues.
the guy said on the video that it doesn't matter, they don't care. He said that when we started buying some years back, they were $23 and they've gone up to $40. NECA isn't really being done away with. It's more that unsold pops have taken over the space.
Says Gilgamesh there. Munin says pops keep piling up, literally none of them moving. Same target has event exclusives severely peg warming. And DC is here from Springfield, Massachusetts. Oh, Star Spangled Banner in church today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, things will be changing, I think. But, we'll save
that
for
Brian,
another day.
How are you?
Brian has joined us. But, yeah, we went to the Walmart not too long ago. And one more here from Big Ben. He says, if you checked out the Turtles of Grayskull, I was skeptical, but after getting them, I'm hooked. Quality's fantastic. Splinter looks incredible, as does a Leatherhead. Okay.
I've seen them in the Walmart because they got a ton of them at the Walmart.
Yeah.
And I didn't know Pops were doing Turtles of Grayskull. When I was in Target, I saw the Pops of Turtles of Grayskull. I didn't know they were doing them. Not that I want them, but I just didn't know. But our Walmart seems to only sell Turtles and Transformers.
Yeah.
And they're heavy on that. They've pretty much done away with McFarlane altogether. It's hardly no McFarlane. If you see it, it's like onesie twosies of McFarlane. They got a bunch of Sonics and them wrestlers, cars and stuff like that. But
the Munin says they still see NECA figures broken in the box on a regular basis, or things stolen out of the packaging.
I don't really care too much
McFarlane
anymore.
Page punchers are on clearance at Walmart too.
Now I do buy the Mondo, I ain't gonna lie. But I see stuff like McFarlane has that Green Arrow, the Copper Age looking Green Arrow with the hat.
Yes.
Not the hood, the one with the hat. I do like that. And I thought of it, but then I looked it up. David told me, and I looked it up, and they have one that came out in the 80s or something. So
I think so. Oh, not
80s or 90s, something like that. So I was like, I'd rather get that than the McFarlane one. And then, granted, I'm not going to open it anyway, so it really don't matter.
And that's what Gilgamesh is suggesting there, that the McFarlane doesn't hold up aftermarket either. He just got Jonah Hex and Mr. Zazzi's on eBay this week under retail.
And see, I thought about, because he's coming out with like Jonah Hex, the Phantom Stranger, Dead Man. I got the Dead Man, but it's some other characters like that he put out that I like, but I'm like, do I really want to be bothered, especially with the price that much? And then now some of his stuff you can only find on his website, and I'm like, I'll go to Big Bad Toy Store, but I don't feel like going to another website. I know it sounds weird, or find it in the store.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I guess because I really don't care like all that, to why I don't want to put forth a lot of effort. I'll go to Big Bad Toy Store if it's there. I'll get it, but I don't really care like all that.
DC says that the NECA Universal Monster's been sitting in Target for years.
3 years
in his area.
Okay, hold on.
They don't sell. And Munin says he saw McFarlane Page punches at Ross for $3.
Oh my god!
We don't go to Ross very often.
No, we don't really go to a lot of those stores like that. Now, I like to go to Ross to get some candles because they sell candles fairly cheap. But outside of that, it's like.
And I did a short from the Walmart because I was just looking at the video selection there, the DVD selection, to which somebody snarkily said on that short, who cares about DVDs? Well, obviously some people do. I would rather have a hard copy. I'd rather have a hard copy than try to get it. Thank you, Stone Sour, for helping us with our babies. Yeah. Helping us with our furry friends, my little neighbors, with a donation to the channel there. Much appreciated. Talking about our shelter cats, obviously. But they got quite an impressive collection of vintage television shows at this point, 50s through 80s.
Yeah.
Because they had I Love Lucy and stuff on there too. So 50s through 80s TV shows, man, from Uncle, all kinds of stuff you didn't expect. And I'm like, wow, okay, I like that. And contrary to popular belief, as long as, with the rare exception, because it did happen to us with the Wonder Years, where one of the discs was funky.
Yeah.
And it's new out of the box.
Yeah.
But as long as they're not subjected to rapid temperature changes, usually those discs hold up long term. It's the same thing with VHS cassettes. People are like, oh, those VHS cassettes, they weren't made to last. And yeah, my ass. You know, I there's people that have VHS and even Betamax tapes that still play fine. They still work. Unless they're exposed, unless they're magnetized. If they're exposed to a magnetic field, they'll screw up. But otherwise, they work great. So no, that stuff's not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, I was just impressed with some of the stuff that they had, and I did grab a couple of things while I was out there. I picked up the complete Bionic Woman, Bionic Woman, the complete series. Because they're not that much. I mean, most of the sets, it's like, wow, that's it. And I remember how much this stuff used to cost. And then, and that's the dog. And they never made the dog, because there's a bionic dog too.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And then the complete Casper the Friendly Ghost. And she was like, but it's such a small package. Yeah, because they're shorts. They're theatrical shorts. We saw them as a TV show because they assembled it into a TV show, together. Just like with the Warner Brothers Bugs Bunny cartoons and stuff, or like Tom and Jerry. Those are all movie shorts. So they're all, you know, it's not a whole heck of a lot. And that's what, 1945 to 1963.
Wow.
On one set of discs. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. It's not as childish as you think when you go back and you watch it. Like, if you've seen the Thanksgiving special,
I got the Thanksgiving one
hilarious.
On my channel. Yeah. That thing was funny. Gilgamesh says that GameStop is giving away the page punchers if you buy McFarlane stuff.
Oh, wow. And that's a great sign.
And he still collects DVDs. Just bought Fallout Season 1 today. Physical media, not just CDs, DVDs, but books, vinyl records, all of that stuff, because you never know what's going to happen. And you can't get to your little screaming and all of that. So have the DVD, have the record, have the CD, have the book, you know.
Okay, that way you don't have to worry about it.
I love the 80s. Thank you.
They say they always great stuff on this channel. We appreciate that. And Stuart says he watched Sha-Na-Na for the first time with Bowser and the gang. Yeah, that's a weird show. It's I hesitate to call it a variety show. I'm not sure how to describe it.
I never saw it, but I know that guy.
I used to watch that show. They were a real band that does 50s style music. You can find albums of Sha-Na-Na.
I have, I think, 2.
Really? And then, if I remember correctly, Bowser was an opera singer who went that way instead. He just decided that he liked that more, or whatever. And I Love the 80s loves his VHS collection. Nothing wrong with that.
I used to record TV shows off the TV. Yeah.
Munin says you can get lucky with the DVDs and Blu-rays at Walmart.
You can get lucky at Goodwill and thrift stores if you look through. If you look through them, sometimes, because I found the full Batman 66 Batman this week at Goodwill for like $2. The complete season, the box set. And I was surprised, because with box sets they like to throw some weird price on it, but they sold it as the regular price of a DVD, and it was like $2. We already had it, but I'm like, man, for $2,
the whole original 66 Batman for $2.
Maybe.
And I looked at it. It looked like nobody really used it.
Yeah,
the discs are real clean.
So I always keep my eye out when I go to the thrift stores for box sets, TV box sets, because you never know. We talked about this show, Cadfael. Great show.
That's a fun show.
We found Upstairs Downstairs is another really good
70s upstairs downstairs
version. the complete series. So you go to the thrift store, you look
every
for
once
those
in a while.
box sets. Sometimes you find it. Now, if you can find, we found some Dark Shadows because they got them broken up into like,
because it was on forever.
Sections. Yeah. So anytime you see a Dark Shadows, you pick that up. You'll be lucky if you ever find Gunsmoke, because
20 seasons.
Yeah. Despite giving away free page punches, my GameStop still couldn't single it. Oh my God.
GameStop's going to fade away soon. Patrick.
Fractured Fairy
Pastor
Tales
Brick
before
says,
school.
Yeah, Fractured Fairy Tales from Bullwinkle.
I love
Bullwinkle's hilarious, and it's not really geared towards children. I mean, kids can watch it and they'll probably think it's funny, but if you really listen to the stuff that they're saying, that is not something that, most of the dialogue is not meant for children, especially when they start talking about taxes. And that comes up a lot about taxes. But yeah, I love the old Casper. That's very nostalgic. I got a lot of stuff like this. And of course, the Bionic Woman. A big fan of the Bionic Man. I used to watch both shows when I was a kid.
Yeah, Hey Munin, avoid Goodwill. Those places are walk-in septic tanks with sewer mutants.
Oh no! You know where else too? Pawn shops, because they get DVDs by the truckload.
Yeah.
And every time we've gone into one, they've got something going like 10 for $1 or something crazy for the DVDs.
When we lived in Illinois, that's when we bought the bulk of our DVDs, because down the street it was a pawn shop, and we used to sit there and go through each and every DVD because they had this ridiculous sale just to get rid of the DVDs. And so, I would pick it up, look at the cover, and like, okay, this cover looks good. And, watch it. If it wasn't no good, you got rid of it. But the majority of them were pretty good. But yeah, pawn shops are a good place.
That's where I got my Ray Harryhausen box set for like $2.
Yeah.
It's like a bulk of the Ray Harryhausen collection, which I love that stuff.
It's places, sometime yard sales. We went to a yard sale. I think we told y'all before once, and they had a ton of karate, kung fu movies, and they had one price on it. The people couldn't believe we wanted them and sold us for like $0.25 each, because I think they wanted $2 to start with. And then we were like, okay, we'll get a few. And then they were like, yeah, y'all want that? You actually got a DVD player? And we're like, yeah.
Oh my God, who has a DVD player? Like, most people just stream, and like,
it wasn't like that because the lady was old, so she didn't even talk like that. So
like, who has a DVD player, like, oh my God.
So we so it was like, oh yeah, you can have them for like 25 cents each. So we took all of the kung fu movies because they had a lot. They literally had like a trunk full of kung fu movies. I was like, wow, and we like kung fu movies.
Sure, the old like Hong Kong classics from
the ones from the 70s. Some
and 80s.
Of the 81 is good too.
But the period ones, some of the period ones are the best. Hilarious, especially with the really bad voiceovers, and everybody in ancient China used to speak with a British accent. I don't know if you knew that.
And then they got these weird hairdos and these eyebrows, and
I know the eyebrows
big fat mole
down here. Oh, that's always the lackey. Yeah. He has a mole with the big hairs out of it, and he sits there and he twists the hair.
But those are always good, and we watch those usually on Sunday because Tubi has a ton of kung fu movies, so we like watching.
And you can tell they're wearing a wig, and man, that sucker's plastered on because it does not come off. No, and you see it pouring with sweat because that thing's probably hot. And then the sound effects don't make any sense, like people are throwing punches and it sounds like someone banging on an anvil. And then somebody jumps and you hear like pigeon wings and just
But let's see what we got from the record show today.
Oh, you want to see what we got from the record show? A preview.
Yeah, because we're gonna do
we gotta put the video together. It'll probably go up tomorrow.
So I was looking for Beach Boys and I found a bunch of Beach Boys today because I am trying to get my Beach Boys collection. Hold on a minute. Trying to get my Beach Boys collection. situated.
Really good harmony in the Beach Boys.
Yeah. Don't sleep on the Beach Boys, especially when you buy the record and you listen to the whole thing, not just the stuff that they play on the radio.
Yeah,
you
and I made
to the whole thing. And you're like, wow, those are really good songs.
And I made the example of Adam Ant because on his first album, Goody Two Shoes, and you've probably heard the song Goody Two Shoes, you don't drink, you don't smoke. A lot of people probably know that song because it was a chart topper in the 80s. But when you play the album that song is on, it's like the worst song on that album. Everything else on that album is better than Goody Two Shoes, but you never heard any of them. And it's whatever they want you to play, whatever they put for the record label, for the radio stations, but a lot is skipped over. Gilgamesh says, are there any records you buy that you don't play, you just want to have the album? No, we listen to everything.
I don't care if it's sealed or what. I'm opening it. I do. Now it is
Scarborough Fair is on there.
Oh, that's a beautiful song. Simon and Garfunkel, Scarborough Fair, Rosemary and Thyme. If you type in Rosemary and Thyme, it'll come up.
Yeah. The harmony is amazing on that.
Beautiful song.
Yeah.
Now I did buy the picture disc of the Who. Who's next? Who's next?
If it's a picture disc, we probably won't play it.
Well, yeah, because I already have the original.
Yeah.
So I bought the picture disc, and then the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon. I have the original, but I bought the 50th anniversary.
Union has never heard a Beach Boys song.
Oh my God.
Look up God Only Knows. Woo, Jesus That's probably one of their best songs. Look up God Only Knows and you get a feel for what they're like.
Yeah. I mean, the surfing songs are okay, but it's not their
That's
best.
A genre specific song that fits into the early 60s social climate in California.
You might have heard their
Bee Gees, obviously.
You might have heard their surfing songs because they were big surfer.
People play that stuff a lot in TV and movies and stuff too.
Yeah, but if you listen, like he said, God Only Knows is a good one, and oh God, I can't think of the other songs. But God Only Knows is a really good one. But they have other ones that are not beach song or surfer songs.
Yes.
That are very good. And that's why you listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
Not just
surprise
the song.
You sometimes.
Yeah. Because we were listening to Genesis today. And this morning before we left. And I was surprised, like, man, I never heard anything but one song off of this record.
On that album, and the rest of the album was actually pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bee Gees again.
I know.
Bee Gees are not just disco. They had a disco period.
They did.
But the majority of their work was not disco.
Amazon is selling Seal new Black Hole
soundtrack for $75, says DC. I have the Black Hole soundtrack. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
There's some good music in that film.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the last film to have a musical interlude. You know, when they have the intermission in a film, when they have an intermission in a film. It was the last American film to do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Do you find any story records? Yeah, I don't buy them. I have a few, and the only reason why I have a few is because we got them in lots. I don't go out and look for them.
I do. I've got a bunch of the Dr. Seuss ones. They're actually pretty well done. The Dr. Seuss storybook records.
Wouldn't it be nice? That's the song.
There you go.
Ooh, how you knew that?
Thank you,
That is exactly the song.
Wouldn't it be nice? Is a really
that's
sweet
a beautiful
track.
song. That is. It's another one they have. We were listening through their records, and it's talking about the son is reminiscing about the dad, and the dad was telling him to grow up, and get a job and do something with yourself. And I can't remember the name of that song. I had never heard it before.
Yeah.
But that was a really good one. I love this song.
Rupert Holmes, Partners in Crime.
That song, Him, is on here. And then the one, Escape.
Yes. Him, what you gonna do about him?
And Escape.
There's some good stuff, actually. Yeah.
Everybody knows Escape. That's when he was talking about how he went through the ads, the one ads. And then he answered.
Do you like Pina Colada?
The Pina Colada song. That's
Pina Colada song. That's what people call it. Of course.
He's saying that.
Yeah, he hates that song too. That's the
guy.
Rupert. He does not like that song.
No. Is today Saturday or Sunday? Did I miss?
Yes, Robert. You're a day late and a dollar short.
Live stream on Saturday.
We didn't do it yesterday because she wasn't 100%.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it.
And then today, we came back from the record show and like, yeah, what the hell? We'll go on and see if anybody's here.
Robert liked the new font.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a new feature.
Hey, there's Johnny Future.
You live right now?
Yeah.
Your listing says Saturday night.
Oh, does it?
Oh, does it?
Oh, oops.
David messed up.
I'll fix that.
This is the association. The association has some really good harmony. If you never heard them, look up Windy. W-I-N-D-Y. Windy.
Everyone knows it.
Everybody knows it's Windy.
Most people probably are familiar with that song if they're younger
Breaking
people
Bad.
because they heard it on Breaking Bad. That's correct.
Yeah.
Everyone knows it's Windy.
That's a really good song. If you never heard them, that's really good.
It's hard. The Who.
I know. I got a lot of.
They're still on tour.
Oh God, they coming to Atlanta. I heard it on the radio.
And they cannot hit those notes. Trust me.
Yeah.
But they're still on tour. It's crazy. So is Cyndi Lauper.
About got excited when I heard they were coming to Atlanta. Then I slowed it down.
Thought about it.
And
it's going to be a fortune.
Not only that, but okay, if you see the Who in concert singing
anything.
Yeah. Yeah, you listen to the Who in concert in their prime and you watch them and you watch Pete Townsend jump up and do that split and Roger Daltrey singing and screaming and doing all like this right here. And now they're like 80, 90 years old. You're like, I don't think that's going to work. I don't think that's going to work.
Johnny must be at work.
That you can guess what I'm doing.
Guess. Yeah, he must be at work.
That's what
Poor
doing.
Johnny.
Johnny got to go work so he can get them autographs.
Oh, okay. The movie version of Tommy.
Yeah. Tommy, that record is really good. I love the Who. I really do.
Yeah.
They're a good band. I think they're underrated. Their records really don't cost a lot.
Yeah.
You can find their records in the dollar bin. And that's where I got a couple of these from. The Byrds. I like the Byrds. I like groups that have good harmony. And the Byrds have some really good harmony.
Like Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Yeah.
Has some fantastic harmony.
I found 3. What did Robert say? We still got a day off, so that's good.
Yeah.
Vets Day is tomorrow. Yep.
Get some free grub on Veterans Day. Yeah, but I mean, you'll be out there for 3 hours in line for like a pancake. I have seen those lines. It doesn't make any sense. Turn.
Yeah.
To everything.
Yeah.
Turn. That's right.
Johnny is going to work.
I know it.
Because he want to get himself some. And now this guy, he had a lot of. A lot of dollar bin stuff.
The Persuasions.
Some of them I knew. Some of them I wasn't sure of. See, like the Who in the dollar bin. Like this group, I wasn't sure of. But I'm like, man, that might be. Yeah, for $1, you try it.
I think I know that song, A Groovy Kind of Love.
Yeah, I think I know it too. Yeah,
Johnny Cass, Folsom Prison.
It's a different one. It ain't the same. The Turtles.
Sure.
I know. For $1, you try stuff. Another Who,
Quadrophenia.
This is from the movie, but this is the movie version right here.
Yeah.
The Who has a studio album of it, which I have. This is the movie soundtrack version. I know I got a lot. I got this is the last one. The Who, I mean Pink Floyd.
Pink
Pink
Floyd.
Floyd. Sorry, Obscured Clouds.
Uh-huh.
Okay, and that's all the records I got. I know I do.
Gilgamesh wants to know if you like listening to music that makes you cry. His mother does that.
I like listening to any music that make you feel what they're saying.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of stuff I like. If they can make me feel it, even if their voices don't sound good, some artists can make you feel like they mean that.
Yeah.
Then you got other artists, you can tell they just singing a song.
They're just singing.
They're just singing. They might have a really good voice, but the voice has no feeling.
For example, like if you listen to Pink Floyd's "Hey You,"
yeah,
and tell me when he's yelling "Hey You" out there on the road, whatever. Tell me he doesn't start sounding like really desperate as the song rolls on. His voice breaks and everything. And or like what's the other one? Voices Carry.
Yeah.
Tell me that girl didn't go through that in her life.
Mm-hmm.
With Voices Carry. That's a brilliant song. It's her best work.
Mm-hmm.
But when you listen to that, and they portray it in the video too, because the video tells the whole story. The original '80s music video. That as passionate as she gets in that, as she breaks down further through the song, you're like, that girl went through something like that someday at time in her life.
Yeah. And that's some of the reasons I don't like remakes and covers. Some covers are good, some.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you hear the original and you know that person wrote it, and then you listen to them sing it, they singing it from a place, a feeling. I've been there. This actually happened to me. It happened to my mama, my cousin, or somebody. And then somebody go off and re-sing it 20 years later. And it's
they
like
miss the point.
A good example, Bob Seger sings On the Lonesome Highway East of Omaha, that one.
Okay.
I think Metallica redid it.
That was terrible. I think I know what you're talking about.
Terrible. But when Bob Seger sang it, you knew he was on the road again. Now I can't remember the name of the song, but you knew he sang that song. He went to those concerts. He slept on that bus. He ate in those diners.
Yeah.
He made you feel. You could see it. Then when Metallica did it, you're like, you're just singing this song again. You're just singing something.
DC's got a ton of vinyl. He likes the educational ones for the blind.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I didn't. Well,
Robert says depends on what place. Okay. Oh, talking about the restaurants. Johnny says put in for vacation time for next year. First time in my life I will get Christmas off of work. Wow.
Wow. In your whole life.
In your life. Robert says if you want a donut or coffee, can't go wrong. Maybe some appetizers at Applebee's or Denny's or something.
He's still talking about
running
food.
all over town. Pastor Nick says he likes knockoff items. Cannot find Tinker Toys made of wood anymore. Nothing but plastic. Have found 2 companies that make knockoffs out of real wood. The vintage ones, they don't sell for very much, Rick. You can probably find vintage Tinker Toys. If you 60s and 70s Tinker Toys, dirt cheap on eBay. Lincoln Logs too. They don't sell for hardly anything.
No, I am not a Taylor Swift fan.
No, there's no Swifties in this house, Gilgamesh. You'd take that somewhere else.
I want to hear something, I mean, even Whitney Houston.
I can't name a Taylor Swift song.
Even Whitney Houston, she didn't write those songs. She didn't write one of them.
No.
But she sang with feeling.
Yes.
I even like the remake of I'm Every Woman that she did from Shaka Khan. She redid that. But she sang it with passion and feeling. I can get behind that. But like stuff like Taylor Swift, it's just songs, just some words thrown together, some poppy lyrics, some catchy lyrics. It's no feeling behind the songs. Now, she did have one that she came out with at the very, very, very beginning that I thought was pretty cool. And you can tell maybe because I think at that time she was a teenager, maybe because she was talking about a boy that she liked, but he was with another girl, but she kind of secretly liked him. Okay, I can see that. And the song made sense. It had some words. It was a little feeling in there, and I can get behind that. But really, I don't really know much of what she do now. I've heard a couple of stuff, some years back, and they were just catchy lyrics.
Yeah.
That's all.
Blue Splash, we thought you were already there.
Yeah. What is your favorite 80s movie?
I don't know if I can pick one. Oh, just one? I mean, come on. RoboCop, Predator, gee whiz, Temple of Doom, Empire Strikes Back, It.
Yeah.
Not It. That's a miniseries though.
The Thing.
The Thing.
Yeah.
The
Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah, that's a 70s film.
Well, still.
The Blob. The Blob.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the 80s had a lot of fantastic films from all different genres. It's hard to just pick something like that. Gilgamesh says it's like the song Hurt by Nine Inch Nails. We heard that when Johnny Cash made a cover. It actually made you feel something.
Yeah.
Johnny Cash sound heartbroken in that song.
Because I think he could feel it.
Yeah.
He had some hurt and some pain in his life. And it's fine if you can take a song, even though you didn't write it, but you can say, man, I know that. I know that feeling.
That's the thing with certain types of singers too, like Johnny Cash. He's not a great technical singer.
No.
But he emotes very well. You can feel what he's talking about. Or Mick Jagger. Because you listen to Mick Jagger and it's like, what are you saying? But there are times where you listen to the Stones and you listen to Mick Jagger and you're like, yeah, there's some passion in that. Listen to the Stones sing Angie.
Yeah. Oh, what's the one he sings with the lady? Oh God. And the girl, and we always say the girl from The Voice could sing it, but she died.
Yeah. Her voice even cracks in the song, and they left it like that because it's perfect for that song.
Yeah.
I know the one you're talking about.
Now that was a good song. That was
Give Me Shelter.
Give Me Shelter.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. Okay, David just got back from house hunting. Found any area I like. Okay. He just got back from house hunting.
Johnny wants to know what's favorite vinyl cover art. Actually, I like the cover art on a lot of the soundtracks.
Yeah.
Because they're painted soundtracks. Mostly they're not always a photograph. So some of the cover art on the soundtracks is fantastic.
Yeah. I don't really know if I have a favorite vinyl cover, because I don't really look at all. I mean, I do look at it, but never to say, oh yeah, I really like this cover. Some of them are nice. Now, some of them I've seen and I wanted it because the cover looks pretty cool.
I have some vinyl too, if anybody wants to see it.
Yeah, they want to see it.
You don't know.
Oh. K Munin never heard of Taylor Swift.
One, and Robert explains that all of her songs is downing former boyfriends. Well, obviously, if you keep making a mistake with your selection of a partner, part of that is your fault.
Yeah.
I learned that myself, making mistakes in my relationships. I ended up with some real bad females, but I had to sit there and soul search and say, well, what's wrong with me that I keep making that kind of choice? And I didn't date for a long time so that I could get my head right. And that's how come I ended up with someone like this, who's like really good quality.
Yeah, Whitney Houston did I Will Always Love You. And she did a great job on that song.
Yeah, but every time, unless she sings it in concert, Dolly gets the money.
Yeah. Best 80s movies, Transformer movie, which is the only real Transformers movie ever made.
Fair enough. Yeah, the Transformers film was pretty
good.
Show
your albums.
Oh, Gilgamesh wants to see it. And Blue Splash says, went to Toy Federation store in Greer, South Carolina. Blown away, all the vintage toys. They had so much. Truly an experience. We'll be visiting again in the future.
Their
Second Chance has a lot too.
Yeah. Their toy show is coming up in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I think so.
They have the retro toy show in Greenville, South Carolina. They host that.
Yeah.
And that's I think November 22nd or something, that weekend. Bruce Springsteen does good music with feeling. I love Born in the USA. I know a lot of people say it's an anti-American song. I don't know. I looked up the lyrics. I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I like the song. I think he passed out singing that song. He sang it with so much feeling and heart. I don't know again if it's an anti-American song or not. I just think he did a good job singing.
And Robert says, did you sing about those females? Nope.
Nothing good.
Nope. He's talking to Gilgamesh.
Oh, okay. Who is that? Good what?
Good Shot.
Good Shot
Jansen.
Hey, Good Shot Jansen. How are you?
Not counting Star Wars and Raiders, it was Fast Times. Oh, he liked Fast Times at Richmond High. And
that's not what that says.
12 o'clock high. No, Good Shot. I was reading that. And then another one that people have totally forgotten about is 12 o'clock high. I used to like that one. Eric Peters says he's with a woman who's the easiest to get along with. We often hit bumps because we do not have collecting in common, and it can be challenging.
Yeah.
Okay. Johnny says, I'm here. I'm personally hurt you didn't name Back to the Future. Oh, Back to the Future's on that list. I can't name everything. I can't. And Frankenfrog wants to see them too.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I don't know what David got.
Yeah, you do. You know, I got this one because you gave it to me.
Yeah.
She found this and got it for me. It's the Kraftwerk Trans Europe Express.
I don't know what Europe that Express.
And the one I want, and nobody has it still. Nobody has the one I've been looking for. But yeah, Kraftwerk. I also apparently ended up with a copy of Tommy the Movie Edition. So, hey.
We don't collect together.
Yeah, I guess not. The greatest album of all time.
I doubt that.
Everything Archie. And I even like the shirts.
I'm with you.
Never saw Back to the Future or Ghostbusters.
Now, I saw Ghostbusters, but I never seen Back to the Future.
And this is the music from the 1969 Filmation Saturday morning cartoon, which is actually really good. And the band was the Archies.
Okay.
And I found that and I was like, yes, the Archies. And it even tells you, watch for the Archies in color every Saturday morning on CBS. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna play the hell out of that.
Not when I'm home.
I will play the hell out of it. I got the Rolling Stones Some Girls. And it's actually the jacket's in great shape. And, you know, that's with the sliding novelty thing, and then they've got the bra ads on the back. Some Girls. Some good stuff on there. I got a U2 Under a Blood Red Sky. I got Sticky Fingers by the Rolling Stones. And this is the correct one with an actual functional zipper there. See? I'm not going to mess with it too much.
You bet not.
But you unzip this and you can see like legs and a pair of underwear under there. Stone Sour says he needs to check out a record convention. Good pickups.
And
of course, on the back of the album, you can look at whoever's behind that is. I don't know who posed for this photo.
It ain't nobody from that band.
No? Why? He's too thick?
Yeah.
The definitive Hall & Oates album, Big Bang Boom. This is the one that really jumped them off in the 80s that they did the music videos for. You know, it's got Out of Touch, Out of Time, and all of that's on here. You know, you don't need to borrow this. Hall & Oates. Johnny says we all know David secretly listens to Taylor Swift. Oh, no.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, no. Don't do that to me. The Doors, greatest hits. You know, Hello, I Love You, Light My Fire, People Are Strange. Some good stuff on here.
They sing Hello, I Love You, Don't You Tell Me Your Name.
That's right.
Oh, they sang it?
Yes, they did. That's the Doors. The Police.
Mm.
It's the Regatta album. Message in a Bottle.
I think I have that
is on
one.
here. Yeah. Death Wish, Walking on the Moon. Some good stuff. It's the Genesis Invisible Touch. And this is the one that has Land of Confusion, which is one next to the next to Alice's Restaurant, probably one of the best protest songs ever written.
Alice's Restaurant is not a protest song.
It is a protest song. It is a protest song because he's calling out the foolishness of the draft system. That's really what he's talking about.
Okay, Gilgamesh has the Doors' greatest hit. Hey, Thor.
Hey, Thor. And Acosta is here. Did you see the huge Dragon Mythic Legions teased?
No.
Did they? No, I didn't see it. Not yet. I don't think I saw that. Johnny says, do you have Kenny Rogers, the Gambler, in vinyl? No, I do. I think I have I don't know what I've got, though.
I got some Kenny Rogers. I don't know if it's the Gambler, though.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember.
Dire Straits making moves. Dire Straits is another underrated band. I think they're pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And not just, the only thing you ever hear from them is Money for Nothing.
And it's one other song. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, Money for Nothing. It's not their best work.
Yeah, it is. Do you know if there are any figures made from the horrible Star Wars ripoff Battle Beyond the Stars with Johnny Boy?
I don't think so. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. I don't think that I don't think any figures were made from that.
Those puppets were scary.
Oh, the puppets in Land Confusion? Yeah, they were weird. They were really weird, especially when they had Stallone eating his tongue. That's in there. He pulls his tongue way out like this, and he puts it on a hot dog bun and pours ketchup on it and eats it back into his mouth.
I don't remember
and it's like,
that.
What the hell is going on in this video? That video will give kids nightmares. It's the Billy Idol Whiplash album. Billy Idol was pretty good in the 80s. Leon Redbone. Who knows who Leon Redbone is?
Nobody.
Oh, come on. Leon Redbone from Branch to Branch. I like Leon Redbone. Really unique voice. And this is the only one I saw at the show. And when I pulled this out, dude gave it to me for even knowing what it was. He said, you can have that one. He says, you can have it, man. I'm like, oh, thank you. Oh, I'm going to save that one.
Oh, boy.
Adam and the Ants. Was it the Prince Charming? Yeah, Prince Charming, Adam and the Ants. Adam Ant, of course. And I think this is their third studio album. And then there's the rest of the band looking like they're really pleased. Do we have to pose for this? Look at the faces.
And them ridiculous outfits.
They're like, Jesus, honestly, this is the end of our career, isn't it? That's what they're thinking right there. I believe so. I think that's what they're thinking. What else have I got? I got a bunch of stuff.
We'll show you in a minute there, David.
What?
He want to see the DVDs you picked up from Walmart.
Okay. Duran Duran, and this is the Rio album. Good stuff on there. People have forgotten how popular Duran Duran was. They were massive in the 80s. They were like Michael Jackson level in the 80s. Kings of the Wild Frontier, Adam Ant again, and I think this is their second album. George Thorogood, Move It On Over. I like George Thorogood. He's still out there too.
Dad to the Bone.
Yes, he did. Thompson Twins.
Hold Me Now.
Into the Gap. Hey, some good stuff on there.
Yeah.
Doctor is on here. Day After Day. Hold Me Now. You wanted this album. Here, you can have it. You see how I am? The soundtrack from the Muppet movie. And the original poster is still in there.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the original poster is still in there. the original soundtrack recording. You know, Rainbow Connection, moving right along. I had this when I was a kid. I had this album when I was a kid. I played the hell out of it. This is a cool album. I like this. Another soundtrack, Conan the Barbarian. Good theatrical music on that film.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there is. It's a really good symphonic music on here, and this is what I was talking about for artwork. That is a painting.
Oh, is it?
That is not a photograph. That is a painting. That is fantastic work, and you often see art like this on soundtracks. And then the soundtrack for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which is also some really unique spaghetti western music. I enjoyed that. So I just kind of happenstance came across this one in one of the soundtrack bins. I was like, holy crap, I got to grab that. Maybe catch up a little bit here. Gilgamesh says, do you fight over the record player? No.
No, we have more than one. I have mine, and David have one in the office when he doing his computer work. He listens to it, so we don't have to. David wanted to see your DVDs.
Blue Splash, big Duran Duran fan. And I'll show them in a second. Munin says, Rio vinyl record reminds me of the She comic character. And Johnny says, Conan the Barbarian is iconic artwork. But yeah, the Walmart. I picked up the Bionic Woman Complete Series.
Yeah.
Bionic Woman Complete Series. And the Complete Casper. 1945 to 1963, all the theatrical shorts that were made into like after school cartoons in our era. We used to see it in the morning on like UHF stations. But yeah, and because they were incredibly cheap. They were incredibly cheap. It's like, gosh, you got to be kidding me. That's it. So I went ahead and I grabbed them. But yeah, there is some iconic artwork from the Conan the Barbarian, including the cover itself there, which most people are familiar with that because that's like the poster art. But this other piece on the back.
Yeah, the back looks way better. I mean, the front looks good too, but that picture on the back is really nice.
Because that's some good detail. You can look at that and you can clearly see that is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I almost picked it up because they had the soundtrack for Battlestar Galactica, the official one, with a painting of the main cast characters on the cover, and they were spot on. Like Lorne Greene really looked like Lorne Greene. Everybody looked exactly like how they were supposed to look like, except for the Dirk Benedict looked like a completely different actor. And I'm like, where the hell? Let me see if I can close this up, because I took a picture of the album, right? Because if I close up here, I mean, you can tell that's Lorne Greene. Okay, that's Lorne Greene. You look at the other actors and you know who that is, right? Then you get to Dirk Benedict and you're like, who the hell is that? That does not look like Dirk Benedict. That doesn't look like him at all.
He took liberties.
What happened? Was there some confusion? I don't know.
K Muni says the story behind that Kermit Miss Piggy vinyl cover is that they both fell into the water and got eaten by sharks.
Oh, really?
No.
And Johnny says he has the Casper, haven't watched it yet, was shocked to see Casper. Yeah, so you found that there too. And it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
It's pretty cheap. And, usually I'm trying to be careful because I had like the complete Mr. Magoo. It was unwatchable.
Oh, God.
From when I was a kid, I was like, gosh, I used to watch this. I just couldn't pay attention to it.
It was awful.
It was really badly done. But I have looked at some of the old Caspers and I'm like, okay, that's not bad. So to see it, I went ahead and grabbed it. Because you got to watch out. Some of those old shows, you go back and you rewatch it and you're like, wow, that was pretty good. it surprises you how good it was. Like when I watched the Archies, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
The original
Archie's
Filmation
was
Archies
good.
was a lot of fun. Fat Albert
Was good.
is fantastic. It's a really well done show. Brave Star is surprisingly good. And then other ones will throw you off. Like it's like, wow, this is garbage. How the hell did I watch this? Yeah, I guess some things is just like, you get those Saturday morning cartoon blinders on and you're full of, well, not me. I know a lot of kids are probably full of all kinds of sweet cereal. My cereal was sweet if I poured enough sugar on it. But because all I got was either cornflakes, generic store brand, like No Frills. Who remembers No Frills in the white box with black lettering? It didn't even have a picture. The cornflakes or wannabe Rice Krispies. It's like Rice Crunchies, No Frills, white box, and powdered freaking milk. Man, you definitely had to put a lot of sugar on that stuff just to make it palatable.
But you was talking about the Mattel Wicked figures.
Mattel Wicked?
Whoever did Wicked figures.
Mattel's in a lot of trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. I don't know if anybody has heard this yet, because the film is out, Wicked, okay? And Mattel naturally cranked out Barbie dolls. The Wicked Barbie dolls that are on the shelves right now, okay? They're going to be recalled. They're going to be recalled. So if you want one, get it now while you can. Reason being, they printed the wrong website, because you're supposed to be able to go to the wickedmovie.com whatever. They put the wrong website, and the website that it does link to is pornographic movies.
Wow.
And and I don't know how it got to that. They started getting complaints from parents, is how they found out, because that never should have slipped through the cracks. And then they went and checked, and they're like, oh crap, we got to get these back. And they're put out.
You ain't getting that back.
Yeah, they put out a. Well, I mean, they can try to recall it from stores, but they're going to lose their shirts doing that. They're going to lose all that money, and then reissuing them, they won't make the money back.
No.
And asking parents to please just like redact the packaging or return it to the store. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. That's a really big faux pas.
Johnny says he has a spreadsheet he has to take with him now, so I won't buy the same DVD set again. I've done that before.
Oh, no.
You get a big collection, you lose track. I've done that with records and comics. Bought the record over and over again, or the comic. So I try to make sure that I check it based on my spreadsheet. Like with the records, I got Discog. So as long as you stay on top of putting it on a spreadsheet or putting it on the website, whatever, you're good. But if you slack up, or then one time I was at a comic convention and I bought a book from one vendor, and then so it wasn't on my spreadsheet. So then I went to another vendor and I saw the book and forgot I had already bought it. But then I was looking through, and I told the one vendor that I knew well. I was like, hey, I bought this book from you, but I had already bought it from somebody else. Would you let me trade it? And he did, for the same price. So another book of equal value. So some people will do that, but I've bought stuff on eBay and then I get it home and I'm like, ugh. Or go to a thrift store or somewhere, or to a store, and you find it, and then you get home, you realize that you got it. And that's just like, I always feel like, man, I just threw my money away.
Oh no. Munin said they went back and rewatched Transformers Age of Extinction, and the film aged really bad. It's not even that old. And Robert says he had to get a Blu-ray of Wonder Woman and $6 Million Man. DVD's okay, but they prefer the Blu-ray.
We're watching the Wonder Woman on DVD now.
It's hilarious.
Oh yeah, Kay Munin heard about the controversy.
And Blue Splash says he liked and noticed about Toy Federation when I was in the store. They played 80s cartoons while you're shopping, watching the Smurfs and Voltron.
Oh, that's cool. Okay.
Smurfs always holds up. That show's hilarious.
We've never been to their store, but like we've said, we've been to their toy convention, and that comes up every November. And we've been there, and we're talking about going this year. Hopefully we get to go. I know the last 2 years we didn't go because last year that's when my mom had got sick during the same time. And then the year before, I don't know what happened, but we missed it the last 2 years. So hopefully we'll get to go again this year. We'll see.
Yeah. Munin says, how did Mattel let that slip? And while we're talking about Mattel, why are they shipping several displays of wrestling toys to every store? That's garbage. Peg warmers worse than Pops, because it's almost the holiday, and everybody's packing the stores with toys. Frankenfrog hates when they buy a record and it's the wrong one inside.
That happens when you go to Goodwill, thrift stores.
Always look and make sure that vinyl's in there.
Now I know I'm bad for that. I don't check. I really don't. Luckily, I've never had the record that's supposed to be in there has always been in there. Thank God. But I'm bad with that, and I need to start. Even at the record shows, you should look. And I always drop the ball on that.
Just to check and make sure that it's clean.
Yeah.
That's something that I always do, because if it's all scratched to death, just slip it out there, and you can look at the condition on that vinyl really quickly and see if it looks nice and smooth, or if it's got any scratches or scuffs. Like that's pretty clean. It's got a little dust on it, but those grooves are nice and clean. It's not all scratched to death. That's important, because you can buy one, or if you look at it and it's got a bad ding in it or a warp in it or something like that, it might not play right.
And it's a guy that comes. He brings his portable record.
Yeah, I saw him at the show today. He's got one of those little kitty, the old like 70s kitty record players. It's like this big with the little handle on it, and you fill it with like D batteries. And he takes it out, and he just lays it on there and opens the thing. He's like, "You mind if I listen to this real quick?" And he'll put the thing on there and play a couple of tracks to see if it's smooth. It's like, dude.
I mean, can you really check how smooth it is on that thing?
I don't know, but it's like, I guess if it'll play on that thing,
it'll play on whatever he got.
On whatever he's got at home. Yes. But you can't. It's not like you can listen to the whole album either.
No,
there could be a ding anywhere, or maybe if he sees it in perfection,
that's where he want to check
plays it right there to see how it looks.
You got these people are serious, man. They don't play any games.
Yeah, I know.
The one guy, he was telling me you can use Windex to clean the records.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I told him I just use vinegar. I use vinegar. I spray flat out white vinegar and wipe it down. It gets it clean enough for me.
Unless they're like Victrola type. Because if you got the really old vinyl, the really old records, they're not vinyl. They're the heavy ones that people used to play on the old Victrola record players from like the 20s and 30s or whatever, because they're coated in shellac. So any solution that you use to clean them will actually damage them. So you're only supposed to use like warm water.
Yeah. But, and you can't even play that on a regular radio. You got to have a special needle for it.
Yeah. You can't use a regular stylus needle.
Found the second wave of the Sonic 3 figures. Jax did a great job on those figures for the $50 price point. That line seems to be top seller everywhere. $10 wrestling figures are good kid next door gifts.
That's what Stone Sour suggests.
Good kid next door gifts are at Dollar Tree, Family Dollar, stuff like that. Gotta drive to work.
Oh, Johnny's gonna catch.
See you, Johnny. Thank you for hanging out with us for a while.
Kids next door are let your parents buy your damn gift. That's what they are.
Fumbling through the galaxy.
Favorite army themed comic book, and as a kid they read a lot of the Nom. Oh, I remember the Nom. Yeah, there was even a crossover with the Punisher in the Nom.
I have the GI Combats.
Yeah.
I got a lot of war books. Hold on now. So I got the original GI Joes, the fighting army, fighting Marines, GI combats, unknown soldier. What else?
Haunted tank.
Yeah, haunted tank. That's GI combat.
Okay.
With the eye patch. Who is that?
Sergeant Fury.
Sergeant Fury.
And I've got a bunch of those. I've got some super clean copies of Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos from the 60s.
Yeah, Black Hawk. I got a lot more. I can't think of them all right now, but those are some. But yeah, I love my war books, especially the ones, with them ultra dynamic covers, with the Nazi covers, that kind of stuff like that. I love all those. I've always pressed the like button. Oh, thank you.
I like the 80s.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we really do appreciate that.
Munin says, noticing G.I. Joe classified figures sitting around on the pegs too. Something I never thought I would see. People are exhausted.
I think people are toy
fatigued. Yeah,
it's a good
toy fatigued from the constant influx of new stuff, and it's like it's not even coming from one source. It's coming from multiple sources. How many different companies are making Ninja Turtles right now? It doesn't make any sense. And you can get just burned out.
You can get fatigued, and I think they should just kind of take a break for a while, let people miss it, because you can't miss it. They don't give you a chance to miss it. They don't give you an opportunity to want anything, because if you're a big diehard Star Wars fan, they don't give you the opportunity to miss Star Wars or even want Star Wars, because every week they come out with 10 figures.
Yeah, we show them practically every week. Yeah. And it is rarely a gap, even just in the Black Series stuff.
Yeah, if they took a break and say, okay, we're not going to make any more Star Wars figure of any kind until next year, December. Give people an opportunity to miss it, to want it. Catch up. If they say, I got to have every figure, give them an opportunity to catch up. And just take a break. Then when it come out, be like, oh yeah, that's right, Star Wars, where it's been, I miss it. That. But they don't give you that opportunity. So people don't want it. They're just tired of it. Like, God, I'm tired of all these Star Wars figures now.
Blue Splash says Mythic Legions
with
the big dragon.
What dragon?
He, like the lion-looking figure, may get that. It's probably something that'll turn up in the next roundup.
Okay.
Robert says, what's Unknown Soldier about? A soldier that nobody knows who he is.
Yeah, he was in the military.
His face is always bandaged.
Yeah, him and his brother were in the military. They named the brother, but he was never named. And the brother was killed and he was badly burned. And they were going to discharge him because he was badly burned. And he was like, no, I'm going to fight and I'm going to keep going for my brother. But they never named him. So he's the unknown soldier.
Yeah.
And he's died a bunch of times, came back a bunch of times, and all of that. You know how it goes with all of that. And then this guy in 2010-ish wrote a novel kind of based on his character. I have it. I started reading it, but it didn't really catch me all that well. So I never finished it. I don't even think I got through the first chapter.
Oh, no.
Honestly. Because when I read the synopsis, it sounded really good. The cover looked good and everything. And then I started reading it and it wasn't all that great. So I was like, But I got it on Amazon super cheap. So
Munin wants to know, since Super 7 tried and is failing, do you think Mythic Legions could one day try a series of figures for retail? If the price is right, they probably would, because every one of those companies started off as a as a direct market retailer, and they went mainstream and then got carried away with themselves. They got carried away with themselves, like Super 7, like NECA, and if they do decide to go down that road and they start producing more and more stuff, it's I could see them burning out too.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Legions. Another casket of someone they didn't know was Bobby Driscoll, the voice of Disney's Peter Pan. Mm.
And Fumbling says the dragon price point is rumored to be 4 figures. Really?
Wow.
We'll find out. Robert, Unknown Soldier in the 40s. No,
No.
that's Bronze Age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a good storyline. Um, you just follow him. Basically, his origin story gets good is good, and then you just follow him through battle after battle after battle because he doesn't quit and he just keeps going. And the military wants him to retire out, but he won't retire. But they never say who he is. They never give a name or anything. That's why he's called the Unknown Soldier, because nobody knows who he is, but he shows up during various battles and different things like that. The newer incarnation, I've read, you know, how he's moved about. And then of course in the originally the storyline is all tightened together and you can follow him. And then somehow or another I read, I don't know, I think in the mid 90s, maybe early 2000s, he was killed. Then he came back to life and was doing all kinds of stuff and you know, but I didn't follow it no more after that. So I don't know. I read that part. I was like, okay, I don't know. Some places you just got to stop. Like when I was reading Green Arrow, I had to stop at a certain point because it just got too crazy after a while, and it's like, I don't want to read that no more. The dragon is rumored to be 4 figure. If that's true, that will push
into
to
XM
SM
Studios territory.
Yeah, and then how big is it?
Because Four Horsemen's already expensive.
Yeah. How big is it though? And is it going to be like a 4 pack or 4 different dragons?
I don't know how that works.
I don't know either. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
I was just going to read that.
Oh, DC says, I think the big toy companies know their time is limited. They're maximizing profit by putting over tons of stuff while they can still sell it to their last customer as adult collectors. Yeah, and that's something we did a whole video talking about that some time ago, because if you really think about it, their demographic has never changed. The same people they were targeting in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and even the 90s, they're still targeting because they were targeting us as children, and they're still targeting us with the exact same properties, trying to get us to buy from them. They're not looking for a new audience or a new demographic. They're still targeting the same demographic. They've been targeting them for 30, 40, 50 years.
Oh, I think he came out during what, World War II, I think. Was his war, and then he just kept fighting throughout the rest of the wars. He just kept going. So it covers like a lot of wars.
Yeah, comics didn't like to talk about Vietnam until like the 90s.
Yeah.
Munin says the biggest problem with NECA after these years, they still have the same QC issues, the same as McFarlane. And Fumbling says he believes this is where collecting has to go. Big price tag and limited numbers. Otherwise, it's destined for ollies. Too many low quality figures flooding the market. And the dragon's supposed to be 60 inches. Is that right? Yeah,
that's gigantic.
Well, that's the whole. That's
5 feet.
That's the thing now. Like with HasLab making their 3-foot tall Galactus and stuff like that.
I don't know. I mean, at 5. That's 5 feet. At 5 feet, that price is going to be ridiculous. Who can afford that? I don't know.
And Patrick says, or Pastor, excuse me.
Oh, the Space Knight.
Oh, please. So they're gonna
Amigo figure.
So they're gonna like cast them in silver in gray plastic, not silver. You don't get silver. You get gray plastic with like a loincloth and like gray plastic sneakers and a big gigantic robot looking ROM head. Because that's what they'll do, right? That's what Mego will do. Or they'll just repaint one of their an Iron Man concept. You saw what they did with the Spectre.
Oh God, that Spectre looked awful.
Underwear and a pair of shoes that look.
McFarlane did the
Oh,
Spectre. I was looking for it. I
uh-huh.
wanted that. I like that one. I never got it though. Because he did two. He had the regular one and then he had the metallic one. And you had to go on his website to get the metallic figure. And it's like,
why are you doing that to us, McFarlane?
I know. And then
he's been pulling marketing tricks since the early 90s though. I mean, McFarlane, he's people love him as an artist, but he's more of a businessman than an artist. Trust me.
yeah,
he knows what he's doing and he does it on purpose.
But then I think what also kind of got me like not really caring like all that, the Walmart, our Walmart stopped selling McFarlane figures. They don't even put it on the shelf anymore. So it never came to the store for me to even see. And then every now and then I'll go to a toy show and I'll like kind of look, but not really, to see the ones that I would like. And then I don't see it. So I just move on.
Munin says, since adult collectors are the target audience for the toys companies, you think they would fix the issues we've been mentioning for years? No, because more people will justify them than will take their money elsewhere. Because really the only way to protest is to stop buying the product.
Yeah.
But more people, because look what's happened to me talking about QC issues when I've done an unboxing, for example, and I'm like, well, look at this, look at that. Even with the Mondo 40th anniversary He-Man, broke clean in half in my hands, and I have people scolding me in the comments. I left that in the video. You can clearly see it snapping, and they're like, well, you handled it too rough, and you did. Half the people who got one, it was broken. Okay, that it's not. It's their biggest faux pas yet. Is that 40th anniversary He-Man? It snapped clean in half because they got real cheap with it. It was like a 16 millimeter peg holding it together in the middle, like not even that wide, and it stretched and snapped is what happened. And you couldn't even reconnect it. That's what glue is for. Oh, you should have used a hair dryer on it and all this other shit. The thing is like $300. No. How about they do a good job? As long as you're going to have people that feel like they're somehow protecting their concept of their personal nostalgia by defending those companies, the companies aren't going to stop because the people are still buying. They're still buying it.
No, we haven't seen or heard anything like that, Jeff.
Says just Jeff.
Hey, JJ the Dragonfly, I think.
Oh, okay.
And Robert doesn't like McFarlane stuff, but I like some of the superpower stuff.
At least it looks like the vintage line. And Jeff says the Firefly from Hasbro. Oh, from HasLab. Great toy.
Great toy.
Okay. And that's side conversation.
Okay.
Raccoon says they probably assumed no one would open it.
Yeah, probably. That He-Man was terrible.
Yeah, that was a terrible. Even the plastic, you could smell the oil on it. They packed it too quickly. They didn't even let the paint dry on that.
They did that with the Man Thing. You get, as soon as you open up, you get the strong whiff of
it's like machine oil.
The HasLab stuff is good, but way too expensive.
And Munin says no excuse, $300 collectible to fall apart or break. Yeah, none of them. It shouldn't happen, especially with the prices that people pay. And I've had lots of difficulty with Mezco figures, with Hot Toys that I've done unboxings and showcases of. And I'm like, you get that buyer's remorse because it's just the quality is not there.
Yeah.
I don't care how pretty it looks. The physical quality is seriously lacking in a lot of that stuff. Blue Splash says people justify the hell out of Mondo. Those people are brainwashed.
Not just Mondo,
I had some comments that was so nasty that when I went to go and look, because I get an email every time someone makes a comment, and then you go and you look, they were gone because YouTube struck them before I even got to look from the channel.
Hey, Toy Chic, Mark, how are you?
Yep.
Good
how
to
you
see
doing
ya.
today, Toy Chic?
But people don't just justify Mondo; it's all of them.
Yeah, Mezco,
NECA, Hot Toys. You know, you got those diehard fans out there that's gonna say whatever. Like they got stock in the company, like they getting paid for it or something. You know, they act like you taking money out of their pocket.
Yeah, I know it. And then
even at $30 a quality shit. Yeah.
Says fumbling. Yeah, because there's no excuse for it, because even the cheapest junk that we used to buy when we were kids, it still holds up. And they were dirt cheap. You know, I got a lot of this stuff that's still in the package with price tags on it. I know what a lot of this cost back in the day, and it's negligible. You know, if something was $3 when I was a kid, it's the equivalent of it being 15 now. You know, for adjusting for inflation. So for a $15 figure, and it's 30, 40, 50 years old, and it still functions the way it's supposed to, and it's still intact after it's been played with as rough as we did, and they can't do that now, something is wrong. Something is wrong. They're being cheap on purpose.
Yeah. What are your feelings about Mezco? I like the Batman, Two-Face, and Spider-Man. Thinking about getting that Robin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've talked about Mezco before. I've done a lot of Mezco unboxings in the past. I haven't done any in a long time because I've stopped buying them. They're too hit or miss. You get some figures, and they're fantastic. You're like, wow, this is a really decent figure. Like the Popeye was a really good figure. Nosferatu was a really good figure. And then you get other stuff like the Gladiator Hulk. That Gladiator Hulk was a pile of crap. And that was one of their more expensive figures. They charged a lot for that. Or of course, the Ghostbusters set. That Ghostbusters set was terrible. It was badly done and badly thought out. The equipment didn't even fit. They couldn't wear their backpacks. I mean, give me a break. There's super hard vinyl straps instead of cloth ones, and you couldn't get them closed. And you put them on, and their arms are pulled back like this, and and then they have single jointed elbows, so they're like this. You can't do anything with them. So they can be very hit or miss. The quality's not there on every figure. And it seems like the bigger the project is, the more they screw it up.
I think they're looking at the fact that because it's adult collectors, they're not going to play with it. All they're going to do is just stand it around somewhere, so we don't need to be putting all this extra effort in there. Kind of like what Raccoon Eye said. They don't expect you, either you're not going to open it, or you are going to open it, but you're not going to play with it like all that, like you 5 years old. Toy Chic thinks that Mondo is king. Never been disappointed. Expensive, but worth it.
You were disappointed in not being able to stand up that man bat. You were pretty hot in that video, Toy Chic.
That man bat. I got my man bat. I never. I
never opened it.
I didn't open it. I saw yours, and that was good enough for me. But all of the Mondos I have, I like. I mean, you know, I do have some complaints about the man thing because you can't move it. It says it's supposed to have like,
I don't know, 4 or 5 points of articulation.
You can only move the arm.
Yeah, everything was jammed up so bad.
But it looks good, and I'm that one that's, for a Mondo figure, I would take it out the box, and I'm gonna take it out, and I'm gonna stand it there, and I'm gonna walk away, and that's it. I'm not gonna try and do all of these dynamic poses and make it flip and do all of this. So I guess they make the figures for people like me. I'm not gonna do nothing with it. Justifying poor products is stupid. It's telling the company they can charge you more for less, and you'll take. Yeah,
says Gilgamesh there.
Everything is expensive nowadays, says Robert. Lovely to smell of machine oil on a Christmas morning.
Immunin says no excuse for any collectible to fall apart in box or when barely handling. As we catch up here a lot, there's a bunch here. DC only collected McFarlane, Batman, Arkham Asylum figures. Never understood why his figures are non-standard scale. Must be cheaper to do an unconventional scale. I'm not sure why they're non-standard. Lee says ever since the 2000s, quality has gone down. Robert likes the Mafex Batman Hush figures.
I got the one of the Mafex Batmans.
You got the animated series one.
Mezco is good now as well. Most figures are on point nowadays.
Says Toy Chic. Robert Mezco Fantastic Four looks good. Blue Splash got the Mafex Daredevil. Love that figure. Can do everything I want him to do.
Yeah.
Robert likes the Dick Tracy and the Shadow.
Oh, who did the Shadow?
That would be Mezco.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing that. Okay. Dick Tracy is one of my favorites.
Fumbling collects statues exclusively. No need for articulation. I don't play with the toys. A lot of people like to pose them and stuff. Toy Chic says he still freaking sucks. No doubt, little quirks with Mondo, but I've settled with that. If it comes up, customer service is excellent. And Legend says watching Hey Arnold 90s Nickelodeon cartoon, seeing backgrounds clearly drawn with color pencil. Much more effort was put into compared to now.
I like.
Don't even get me started with modern cartoons.
My favorite Nickelodeon was Dexter's Laboratory. I used to... Dexter's Laboratory was funny. Dexter and Dee Dee. His Dee Dee got on his nerves so bad. Open all my toys. If I had to scratch the
cat toy, I'd open it. It says Frank and Frog. He likes to open everything.
I guess so. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, for me, a lot of it is the aesthetic, the aesthetics of it, and also the historic value of how things look. I like things that are still in the packaging.
Yeah.
But, to each their own.
Yeah, your money. Do what you want to do with it.
Oh, Blue Splash sold all his Mondos. Oh, he got fed up.
Wow.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's kind of harsh.
Well, that's... Yeah, what are you going to do?
At least he bought something he really wanted.
I guess. Well, some people, they get kind of hypnotized by something new.
Yeah.
And then they get into it, and then they kind of regret it afterwards.
Robert likes Samurai Jack.
Muna says, if you want good modern cartoons, my recommendation.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Here we go.
We almost finished with Ninja Scroll. I still don't really know what's going on in that show. I mean, I know the girl is the Iron Maiden or whatever she is.
Maiden, huh?
Some kind of maiden. And everybody's...
She's the Light Maiden.
Light Maiden, something. And everybody's trying to get that stupid dragon stone so they can find the treasure. And then you got those other people that's trying to get to her because that she belongs to them. She's like their little goddess or whatever. Then you got the fat man with all the tubes in him. I don't know what's going on.
Toy Chic says
2 more episodes.
Toy Chic says opening everything new, modern, vintage, stays sealed, best of both worlds. And Gilgamesh suggests that he got the Transformers Knight Rider crossover figure.
I got that.
One of their better recent ones has light and sound like Kit used to do. Yeah, and that's another one. I don't think, if you really think about it, the Transformers, I don't think they ever really stopped making those.
No.
They're all third party or foreign versions or everything. They've been cranking that stuff out for decades. It's crazy. I don't know how anybody can keep up.
But at least they keep making like new figures. Like they got like the Beast and this and that. They got all kind of different ones. It's not like what they're doing with Turtles and Masters of the Universe is the exact same figures over and over. Yeah,
no,
they keep making.
It is. They alter the sculpt a little bit, but it is still technically the same ones.
But they still add new ones in there though. Like the Beast Wars and...
That's from the 90s cartoon show.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They add more stuff in there.
They've been making Beast Wars figures for like 30 years.
No, we haven't seen the Rambo show.
I don't remember it very well. I remember it from when I was a kid. Seen it when I was a kid, but I don't remember it very well.
No,
and that disc is on disc. It's very expensive. It's very
Rambo.
Yeah.
Oh.
You'll spend a few $100s for
really?
For the complete series.
Oh wow.
Because it was only produced once. Munin says, have you seen Naruto Transformers crossover? No. Haven't seen that. That doesn't need to happen. They don't Transformers doesn't need a crossover with everything.
My Little Pony.
Yeah, they did have
Care Bears.
They had Transformers My Little Pony. I don't think they did Care Bears
No,
yet.
they didn't. But I'm sure they will.
Give them a chance. They'll get around to it. The Transformers freaking everything. It's ridiculous. But yeah, they love doing some of those crossovers. They do a lot of them with the Ninja Turtles. Ninja Turtles got more crossovers than anybody.
I've seen some people advertise that they do reproduction boxes.
Yes.
Then you ask them to do a certain box and they tell you no. I only do these boxes, so no.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't seen any. That's Rick asking about Shogun reproduction boxes there.
I've seen two people. I've contacted two people that advertise. I mean, they advertise that we do reproduction boxes. But if you ask for a specific box, they're going to be like, no, I don't do that. I'm only do these things right here. And it's like, well, don't say you're going to make a custom box for whatever your figure is if you ain't about to do nothing. Honestly, Death Note is a series I think you will. Now, we do have that. I think that might be next on the list because we just watch it in whatever order it is on the list when you hit save.
So you didn't like the live action version of Death Note?
Oh, they had a live action of that?
It's not worth watching.
Hey Edwin, how are you?
It's pretty bad, and Willem Dafoe played the voice of the creature.
What creatures? A lot of creatures in Death Note. I haven't seen Death Note. Okay.
The spirit that's connected to the guy's book. But it was Willem Dafoe's voice, and it's like, oh, Willem Dafoe's in it. Okay, well, that doesn't mean shit. He just it was pretty badly done, I thought. Gilgamesh says he has the Little Pony Transformer crossover. Transformers is their favorite franchise, and I get a lot of what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Robert wants to know if Sly got paid for the Rambo cartoon. No. He had a big feud with Coleco in the 80s. He didn't get it. He was like, no, this isn't what Rambo is. I don't he didn't necessarily approve, but at that time he didn't have studio rights to the Rambo character. So I think he does now, which is probably why you can't find it on disc again. But back then he didn't. And he was like, hey, I don't know about that, Also, because Coleco made Rambo figures, that prevented him from being able to collaborate with Hasbro for the G.I. Joe figure they planned of Rocky. Which doesn't make much sense. No. I think it had something to do with the likeness. With his physical likeness, so because Hasbro's like, well, you got something going with Coleco. He's like, hey, I'm not doing that. That's the studio. But you know how it is. Look what McMahon did to Sergeant Slaughter because he had a G.I. Joe. Put the guy through hell for it.
Yeah, Death Note is a solid choice. Most live action anime movies are awful. All of those ones right there are bad.
Gintama, Blade of the Immortal. What did you think of the one for Full Metal Alchemist? I didn't think the one for Full Metal Alchemist wasn't too bad. It had the right look anyways, because I watched that one as well. Blue Splash says when he was at Toy Federation, they had McDonald's Migos, or the figures that you have. They're made by Remco. They were in package brand new looking. They may have looked different. Don't know. Yeah, Remco made them. And then in like 2006 or 2008, a company called Huckleberry reissued the very similar looking figures.
We met on the internet.
Yep.
We were on the internet, one of them internet dating websites. Well, we were. That's how we met.
Yeah.
Internet dating. Shoot. That's the
way
the world.
Apparently, sometimes it works. Well, I mean, you don't want to really hang around in a bar and meet somebody, do you?
No.
Nobody wants to do that. Where are you going? You keep shifting more and more to the
I'm
side.
Leaning down. I'm leaning over.
Robert says you should do more Stallone
No, he should
impersonation.
not do any more
Impressions.
impersonations of anything.
Hey, I've got my turtles. I named them Cuff and Link.
Blade of the Immoral Action is great. Film action, it was good. Did you
Was good
see
too. Did
all
you see
three
all? I
movies?
didn't see Immortal. I saw the Death Note, and I saw the Full Metal Alchemist, and I had said that I had suggested that somewhere. I was like, yeah, I saw the Full Metal Alchemist live action. I didn't think it was that bad. You know, I thought that, again, at the very least, they got the point across of what's projected in the show. I know they have to cram it because you can only put so much in 2 hours.
Yeah.
But the look was right. I thought the look was right. Man, people gave me a lot of shit for that. You don't know what you're talking about. Full Metal Alchemist, blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, shut up.
Hey, Raw Deal, Raw Talk,
Yeah.
Raw Talk.
I just, all I said was that I thought it was okay. Who cares? I'm sure that a lot of people have seen a movie that other people didn't like. What are you going to do? Chop off their heads?
Because people don't want you to disagree with them anymore.
I know.
Everybody,
They
they
can't
want to
take
be
it.
diverse, but want everybody to be the same.
So I've
But
got
anyway.
this. There might be people here who think that Casper is silly. Okay. You don't have to watch it.
Yeah, you didn't bought it. Your money didn't pay for it.
I mean, seriously.
Full Metal Alchemist live action had 3 movies. Oh, it was
I
a
only
trilogy.
saw the first one then, I think. Munin says they've gotten the look down, but the live actions I recommend are Rurouni Kenshin, Gintama, Blade of the Immortal, Street Fighter, Assassin's Fist. Okay.
Free on YouTube.
What, you mean the one with Van Damme's not good enough for you?
Hey, okay.
Raw.
He finally got time to watch us.
Oh, well, glad you could make it, Raw Talk. But
hey, display name.
The Van Damme Street Fighter film is pretty dumb, but Raul Julia really puts it over as was he Vega? Because I know they switch back and forth between the names, but he was fantastic in that movie. Raul Julia was so over the top. It just Raul Julia's his acting was like Jack Palance. You know how Jack Palance is just nutso over the top on everything he does, to the point where he steals the whole film, and you're like, oh god, okay, I'll watch this just because Jack Palance is in it because he's crazy. Raul Julia was like that, and he sells that movie. He loved playing the villain so much. He was crazy in that. Absolutely crazy. And Robert is like, Robert says Full Metal had a live action. Yes, they did. There was a full act. They're telling me apparently there's 3 of them. I didn't even realize. And Display Name is here. Glad you could make it, Display Name. Thanks for joining us. And again, we did go to the record show today. We went to the record show.
See, I love 80s. Thank you for joining us.
And that video should go up tomorrow.
Yes.
And you already saw our haul, but we'll be showing it again on the restream, as well as a couple of highlights from the show.
Yeah.
We throw together real quickly there. And the next one that's coming up actually is going to be an outdoor show at the Cobb Antique Mall.
And that's next week.
Next Saturday. Golly.
I don't know.
Next Saturday. You don't know?
He was in City Slickers?
Yes.
Okay.
Jack Palance was in a lot of things. Jack Palance is crazy though. And he was in that episode of Buck Rogers where he played the preacher.
I remember.
And man, you just can't. Who never saw a single one of his performances? He never watched any movie or TV show he was in. He said he just didn't want to see it because he'd be too hypercritical of himself. Fumbling says, if you like adult gritty great filmmaking, check out the Penguin series if you can.
Yeah,
she's curious about
I want to see it. As soon as it come out on DVD, I'm gonna buy it. Everybody I've heard say that it's real good. It looks good. I like the way that actor portrayed the Penguin in the Batman movie. I like that it wasn't that what they normally put, because I saw the penguin from the Batman movie in the 90s. I saw
Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I saw the penguin in Gotham, and it's always some little short deformed guy or whatever. I like how the guy Colin Birth, I think, whatever his name is, I like his portrayal of it and how they did
and
it.
it's comic accurate to one of the renditions of the penguin. So I
hope it doesn't get too fanciful, because I think Danny DeVito was too fanciful. The guy from Gotham, I think he started out good, but then it kind of went but Gotham, that whole show, I think kind of went sideways after a while.
Really weird.
I liked it at first. Yeah, we quit watching it, I think, at the second season.
I couldn't stand the Catwoman portrayal at
well,
all.
It was a kid.
She was awful.
Yeah.
She was awful. And anyway, the best penguin that ever was Burgess Meredith. So are we going out tomorrow for freebies, says Robert?
No, we're not. I've never done that. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but if I got a day off, I don't want to be standing in line waiting around for something.
A pancake or a donut or a cup of coffee or something like that.
Yeah, and I don't even eat donuts, and I can drink coffee at
home.
I'll
eat your donut.
Yeah.
I'll eat both donuts. I will eat both donuts. But Robert likes Burgess Meredith version too.
Yeah.
There was some good over-the-top villains. They really played the hell out of those roles. They make it so serious. Or like oh God, what is his name? The guy who played the Riddler. The first version of the Riddler. Okay, because the second one was the same actor who played Gomez on the Addams Family, and he wasn't nearly as good. But the original Frank Gorsham is fantastic as the Riddler. He's so crazy with it. But Raw Talk says, think a soprano penguin. Yeah, because he's like a gangster type.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, we do have to get going.
Yeah.
So we're almost at 2 hours, but that's fine. that's good enough for a now everybody's telling me Frank Gorsham. It took me a second, but I got it. I remember who they are if I mull it over for a moment. But we're going to go ahead and start wrapping up. Thank you. Frank and Frog says a lot of Batman villains you can empathize with.
Yeah.
If you're really paying attention, almost every one of his villains had a nervous breakdown.
Yeah.
They all life just pushed them too far. All of them. Robert says the 66 Batman villains are more faithful to the comics. It's fun. It's a fun show. It is a fun show.
But nearly all villains on those cartoons, if you watch them and pay attention, you can empathize with them, because something happened that caused them to be that way. They ain't just crazy for no reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something happened, and then once you find out the true backstory, you can kind of almost get behind them.
Yeah, in some cases you can. But we're gonna thank you everybody.
Yeah.
For joining us this evening.
And again, not happy, but we're honoring veterans. So, because tomorrow is Veterans Day.
Yes, it is.
So honoring veterans.
So we will catch you again sometime soon, and have a good night.